Hi everyone, this is Carehart, and this kit, if you received a kit like this in your package, which these are going to go out in the February packages for some of the folks. It won't be all of the folks that are hardest. But it doesn't matter whether you get this as a kit in a package. This is literally one of the simplest packages to put together all together. And in addition to the kit, what you're going to need is some way to make a hole. Now, you don't have to have a fancy pants hole. You really don't. What you probably could use is a pokey pair of scissors or an awl, or if you're a hardist, feel free to put a hole punch on your list. But for those of you who are watching this and you're not a hardist and you can't get a hole punch, whole bunch of ways to make that little hole at the top. But we're not going to get to that. We're going to tell you what we're going to make. You have 6 bags of tea, 1 yard of string, and 3 pieces of paper. Oh my gosh, how easy is this project going to be? And I'm just going to start making it with you with the limited supplies I brought for myself, which I love to do that. I have a pair of scissors, a ruler, a hole punch, and in my case, I'm using double-sided stick tape, but if I was doing this for my own personal use, I would use glue sticks because that's my personal preference for durability. Okay, we'll get to the yarn or the string. If you don't have string of any sort, you can use ribbon. If you don't have ribbon, you can use twine, you can use fibers, you can rip up an old piece of clothing to give you a nice long thin strip. When we get to the end, I'll show you why it matters. So these 3 pieces of paper are from Misty Mac Jewelry Shop on the digital store. She provides all of these free to the hardists. And this is the Inspire Me Digital by Misty. So each person will have 3 pieces of paper. This will be printed double-sided. And when it's printed double-sided, you'll see that it does matter because you want it to be pretty on both sides. Now, this one has a white trim. For me, I like to just get rid of that little white trim. You don't have to if you don't want to. So I just take my metal ruler. You can use a pair of scissors, you can use your paper trimmer, you can use whatever your favorite way is. Oops, that's too tight to cut it. I guess today I'm using scissors. You're going to need to make it square. So if you have a paper trimmer, you can just make it square by using your paper trimmer. If not, I'm going to do it the old school way of making it square, which sometimes I think is squarer than a paper trimmer, so this is why I kind of like the old school way. I love this little kit idea because for those of you who are thinking about Valentine's Days or thank you gifts, or you've got little friends that you just want to pop them a smile, this is a fabulous way to pop them a smile. And, you know, a wonderful thanks to Misty for providing this free digital kit for us. All right, this is my old school way. Oh, back in my high school days, I would have just folded it back and forth and just ripped that piece off too. All right, I like this side better. So your favorite side, put your favorite side on the bottom. Okay, so this will be your inside. Then you take a beautiful tea bag and, oh, smell it. They smell so good. You take a beautiful tea bag and you just, now if you don't want to do this project, you can just keep the tea bag. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to fold it right there. Give yourself some space. Why not? And then I'm going to fold it right there. Am I square? I don't even know if I'm square or not. Do I really care? I'm not sure if I care. Okay, so now I know that I could have done it with a smaller square. Let's see how big my square is for those of you who need measurements. I do know some folks need measurements. You can use an 8x8 piece of paper because look at that. That's an 8x8 square. I should have thought about that because the paper I'm sending is 8.5 by 11. Okay, so here's your outer. Okay, then because we want to put a tea bag on this side and we want to put a tea bag on that side, you can use coordinating tea bags if you want to. we're not going to just fold it in half. Oh, no, 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 no. That's too easy. Even though it would be kind of fun to just fold it in half. Oh, look, that could have made it easier on me to even line up my little points. I could have done my little points to the fold in half. We'll do the next one a little smarter. Okay, you guys get my drift on that? Lining up my little points. We're making it as we're making it. All right, so all we did so far is just fold this one in and that one over. And then now we're going to fold it point to point. Yes, I do things multiple times, but you guys, we have a lot of folks, right? Now, what I have is this beautiful little crease right here. What I want to do is also, and for those of you who need measurements, go ahead and make this measurement a 1/2 inch. For those of you who don't, just accept that I'm nearly 1/2 inch because that's just what I do. All right, and then I'm going to do my nearly 1/2 inch to be equal on the other side by lining up my 2 points. Okay, so now what it's going to do is give you the opportunity, now I'm going to fold it back this way, where it looks like the inside is outside. Why? Because I want it to stand. That's why. Pull these back here. You should have a W at the bottom. I don't care how you get to your W, you just want it to stand in your little gift bag. So then all you've got is your cute little Tea of Life on this side, cute little Tea of Life on that side. Then we're going to punch a hole. Again, it doesn't matter how you punch your hole, but for me personally, I like putting the hole through both of them at the same time. My gosh, if I can get through it. My little hole, it doesn't like me. There we go. Something's wrong with my hole punch? I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I see. I have the guard on somehow. Fixed. Let's punch the hole. I'm such a little kid, you guys. All right, going down the middle, punching the hole. Ding, and we have a hole punch. So now, you know what I don't have is the pretty little paper. Oh, I didn't show you something that belongs in the kit. Okay, so here's where you would use your pretty little ribbon. But for those of you getting a kit, you just need, and you can measure it, I'm going to use about 9 inches, but I don't need 9 inches. Probably use easily 6 inches or less. And you want to put this right here on your tea bag. Now, included in your package, I have to go get it off the printer, so you guys are going to see me walk away for a second. Okay, just a little tag. So it's going to look like a tag. But wait, there's more. Everyone's going to receive, probably not in an 8.5 by 11. I'll probably trim them to fit into your package proper. But I will rough cut one of these out. And you're asking yourself, I can't see that. What does it say? It says, you are Tea-rrific. That's what it says. And they're all a little bit different. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're all a little different. I made them last night. Okay, so I'm just going to fussy cut this out with my glasses on. And while I'm fussy cutting this out, which nobody ever really wants to watch those kinds of things, I want to know from you guys. I'm going to make another one of these shortly. But I want to know from you guys what's on your crafty table, or what would you like to be on your crafty table? Oh my gosh, that could have so many funny answers if I said, what would you like to be on your crafty table? I mean, because somebody could say, I'd like $1 million on my crafty table. All right, here we go. For those of you who can't fussy cut very well, have an ink pad nearby. You can ink the edges and it always looks good. For those of you who don't know how my craft desk can get so messy so fast, it's partly because of the way I snip. If you mess one up, no worries. I have enough in the kit to make 3 packages, and yet there are 9 of these cute little ones to fussy cut out. And then all you got to do is put a little thing right here that says you are Tea-rrific. Now you can choose to dangle it off of here. You can choose to make it swing around. You can make a pretty little tag out of it with your leftover scraps, right? But for me, oh my gosh, I'm going to keep it simple. And that's what my double-sided stick tape is for. Right here. And you can embellish this baby up and make it fabulous, but I just wanted to give you the bones of the project and hope that it inspires you to gift a little. Well, isn't that cute? And then it stands on its own when you gift it. Yeah, it stands on its own like that. Now let's do the next one right quick because we know what we're doing and we learned a little bit by that fold. So here we go. First things first, I am going to trim off the white. And I know you guys are looking at me like, I know you have a paper trimmer. I do. Some of the folks getting this kit, they don't have a paper trimmer yet. So I try to do things showing them that things can be done, even if you don't have all the fancy pants supplies that other folks have. Oh my gosh, there's the cutest little fox on here. I love Misty's printables. Okay. Now, for those of you attending our birthday, we're still taking people for the hop. So if you know of anyone who wants to be in the hop on Defy's birthday on Valentine's Day, let me know. I'm going to save that little fox. So let's fold it this way. Give it a little square. And cut our little line. None of this is precise. Okay. So now we're going to be a little bit smarter about it. I'm going to go ahead and fold the line up this way to get a good center. You guys can see that I'm not perfect on both sides, but I'm not going to worry about it. Why did I get a good center? That's because when I put my tea bag in, now for those of you who want it to snug up your tea bag, you could probably make it a little bit smaller on your paper, you know, and really sandwich your tea bag. Let's see how much extra we have. About 2 inches extra. So you really would probably want to do a 4-inch by 4-inch, 4.5 inch square to get the best one like that. Oh, and I didn't set up the capture, so I'm sorry for the autofocus refocusing, but okay, so let's do this. We have our little tea bag here. And we know where the middle is because I can see my creased fold. So I'm going to use my middle on the tea bag here, but I can tell that I don't want to go that far. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Why? Because I think it's pretty like that. And I'll send you over here. I'll find my little fold, which is right there, and pull you back a little. We learned in the process, so I'm going to save one step and just flip it over. And you know it's flipped over because I can't fit the tea bag on this side. And face it back here. It looks inside out, but it's really not because we're going to fold at 1/2 inch from the middle there. So I'm going to take about 1/2 inch and fold it down. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but the point of this little fold, your little 1/2 inch fold or more, this one's going to be a little more than 1/2 inch. The point of it is so it can stand on its own. So you can see that fold right there. And I'm just going to match this fold by creasing right there. So for those of you who have an easy way to crease, you can do it this way and then fold it that way. But for me, I'm just going to use the points at the top right there. And I have enough tea bags to make this kit for every artist. And now, for those of you who are a artist and you see that it looks a little Christmassy, this is my sample, so it's fine. You can even repackage your tea bag and package it in something beautiful, right? So you can put your tea bag in one of these, like this. It slides in, it slides out, and you could even do it, let's do it like a matchbook. Let's do that. So let's take our little sample paper, find where the tea bag would be. Actually, let me do it here. So I'm going to matchbook it up like this down at the bottom. I don't measure anything. Hold on. Okay, matchbook the bottom like an inch. Okay, where I'm just going to fold up an inch there. I'm going to put my little tea bag in here. Okay. And then I'm going to fold over my tea bag, but then not all the way. Do you see where the crease would be here? But instead, I want to make the crease about here, giving it some space above. Do you see the blue line? Okay. So I know it's silly. You don't need to give yourself a blue line. I just do it to get it where I want it. Now, if you guys wonder where to tuck it in when you're making yourself your little matchbook, I need my stapler. Oh, my stapler's in the other room. Just pretend in your head I put a staple at the very bottom towards the bottom. That's what you're pretending, okay? And then I'm going to fold this up so I know exactly where it's going to tuck in at. That'll be about there. I like both sides of this paper. So I'm just going to trim it right at the fold. Now you've made yourself a little spot to hold your tea bag from your leftover paper. And you tuck it in here. And it matches and it's all pretty. Cute on the fly, right? All right, it needs a hole. Let's take the tea bag out because goodness knows I'm gonna mess something up with that. Watch your fingers, poke your hole, and then get your string. You can use ribbon. Shoot, you can use anything you want to use to make these. Now you don't have to loop it through like I did before. You can tie it so it can hang on a doorknob. That would be kind of cute. You put your little tea bag on this side. I'll put my other little tea bag on that side. And when you're doing it, oh my goodness, go in the hole. Hold on. There we go. And I'm just going to tie it at the top instead of looping it through my old school way. If I can tie a knot. Nobody wants to share what's on their crafty table today. All right. How fun. The fun thing about making kits, honestly, for me personally, is it's forced playtime. So there's your little thing. If you made it bigger, you could hang it on a door. Now, don't forget that you want to fussy cut yourself out the little finishing piece. So let me just grab one of these. I think I would like the yellowy looking one on this one. So I'm just going to grab one of these. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know what to do with a clean desk. Just dirty that baby right back up. All right, again, for those of you who are nervous about fussy cutting, just ink pad your edges and it'll look all finished for you. These ones have a little shadow to them and some angles, but I think that adds to the character. For those of you who like layers, don't be afraid to use your paper scraps to make some layers. For those of you who are absolutely brand new to crafting, don't be afraid to experiment and play because paper is pretty darn forgiving. If you're a artist and you ever even come close to running out, put paper on your smile list, and I will prioritize that. Speaking of smile list, for those of you who are artists, I just went in and did a major revamp of the smile list to make it easier. And we'll be uploading information to all the artists pretty soon when it's time to reapply for 2021. Looky, it's so cute. Okay. And you guys, you can make yours more precise at your 4.5 inches if you want to. Say yes or no. Do you guys want to make a third one? Because we're only at 435. Isn't that cute? Do you guys want to make a third one all precise at 4.5 inches with measurements and everything? Okay, we'll do that. We got a yes. Let's make a third one. You just get a bigger tea bag. No, I'm just kidding. Hold up. Let's make a third one. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need 4.5 inches. So you can use your ruler. I'm going to use my cutting mat. For those of you who are perfection crafters, I am going to trim off my white space first. And I only need to trim 2 sides, because the other 2 sides are going to be cut anyway. So I have my 4.5 inches. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. Right here. So I'm going to grab it at 4.5 there, 4.5 here. To me, a metal ruler is a basic. So if you're an angel and you're wondering, hey, what's something inexpensive that I can donate? A metal ruler. Just drop ship that baby to us using Amazon. We can even put a link on there. We haven't done that yet. Because for those who don't have paper trimmers, a metal ruler does just that. Yeah, the little thing on each one of them says, "You are Tea-rrific." Isn't that cute? It's just, I'm so dorky. All right, let's do our, is this going to work? Did I make it too small? Was 4.5 inches the wrong size? Well, we're about to find out. This could be an experiment with a mistake, you guys. But no worries. This means you guys aren't making the same mistake. All right. Where's my other tea bag? Well, I ripped it open. Oh, look, it's not going to fit. Look at that. Okay, so then it's not a square. Oh, it does fit if I put it way up high. But let me see something real quick. If I put just this baby in there, how does that look? Let's take you out and put this baby in there too. So 4.5 inches is too small, you guys. That's why we experiment. Okay. Well, let's just fold it only in half. Not like the stand-up version with multiple folds. One on this side and one on that side. Okay, it would work as a little gift like that, and it'd have the little tea bag thingies hanging out, so tuck those in. It is nice with it taken out because all this says is Tea of Life. Okay. Let's see how that looks. That's not half bad, but it does sit a little high, so make sure that when you do your hole punch, however you do your hole punch, and this piece of string would look cuter if it was a ribbon, maybe. But ribbons coming in May. I don't really want to mess with that. I'll just tie this real quick. I tied it up high and tight. And I'm going to slide my tea bags in. I know someone's yelling at me. You didn't put the Tea-rrific on it yet. I know. Hold your britches. I'll get there. I just don't want to mess with all my paper and string and shenanigans. I'm going to tuck the little tea bag holdy thing in the back.
You could use your leftover paper and make little tags. Make new little tags, and then it would all be matchy-matchy again.
Oh my gosh, that would be cute. So a stapler is definitely a basic on our supply list and what we consider basics. And we're modifying even the reapplication to make sure that everyone has the basics that they need. So a stapler is the kind of thing that will be on the new application, because to us, we want to make sure we get what we consider craft basics out early. That's a good idea on the little tea baggy things. I like taking them out of here personally. And then you're going to have all kinds of leftovers like this, or if you cut it too small like that. But look, this would even make 4 if you made them tiny. Nope, not 4. This is wider. I forgot it's 8.5 inches wide. Okay, so let's fussy cut our last little one out. And if all you have is a big pair of scissors, or you're new to fussy cutting, because we do have some folks who are new to that, when you're doing your snipping on your fussy cutting, and I know I'm saying the obvious to many folks, turn the paper, not your scissors. Because when you turn the paper and you keep your scissors kind of stationary, and put your glasses on, because right now mine are sitting on top of my head, so I'm probably missing little spots. But when you keep your paper stationary, it's easier to make some of those tighter corners. I'm sorry, not paper. When you keep your scissors stationary, it's easier to make some of those tighter corners. That's it. I'm putting my glasses on. Oh my gosh, I can see now. And when I was talking layers, I'll do this one a little different. And you guys have boatloads of paper that came in January if you were a artist starting in January or earlier. The adopted folks have a different process. So keep that information out there. If you're adopted, oh my gosh, look, I messed up that cut, but we're not going to care. We're not going to stress about it. We're going to take you and we're going to put a piece of tape here. And then we're going to take you. I'm not sure that looks good on there. That one almost matches. Maybe something darker. I'll put you right there. I like you there. All right. I seriously do just eyeball this much, guys. And then if you don't have a corner rounder, what I like to do is I like to just take a notch out with a slight curve. Gives you that feeling of a ticket. Just a little notch out. If you have an ink pad, you can ink the edges. If you feel like it and you want to make one of these big ones, you can turn these into tags. I can't wait to see how everybody makes them their own. Yeah, I think I like it better without the little piece because it's too big on there. But it's cute. And that's the fun of crafting. You get to do it your own little style. So 4.5 inches is just as small as you can go, and you don't have an ability to make it stand up. But this one, which is 8 inches by 8 inches square. So this square is 4.5 inches square. This one is 8 inches square. And you can see the big difference in size. So that pretty much is the range of how you would put them together. So what a fun way to go play, and a fun way to use up your Christmassy looking tea bags, because frankly, that tea is still delicious and a good way to gift and have some fun. So with that, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. And if anyone has any questions on this, because Jean Peter says, I want to see care measure. That's too funny. Yeah, it's so rare that I measure. I'm just a wing it, which is why you end up with projects like this where it barely fits inside. But hey, we learned what the minimum is. So with that said, love and hugs, everyone. And a big shout out to the company that came up with this idea. And if you look in the description box, you can see that or I should say the website. So the website that came up with this idea in general is called makesomethingmondays.com. And the link is in the description box below for someone who does it a little bit better and cleaner than I do. But for the hardest packages that will be in the little plastic wrap, whatever I did with that plastic, the hardest packages will include just the link on the stuff that they can type into the thing. So love and hugs, everyone. Thank you so much, and stay out of trouble.